All right, gang, Kris here back with Self-Made, and we're about to jump into part 3 of the monetization of I know my product, I know I need a website. Today I'm going to show you exactly what it needs to look like. All right, gang, hey, so here's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to be sharing my screen, and I want to invite you to dial in with me as I show you an example of how to do this. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go over to Limitless Wealth TV on YouTube and go there and subscribe. You're going to want to actually study what it is that I'm doing. You're going to want to study especially what my website looks like, because when I say R&D, rip off and duplicate, I'm not joking. I really want you to study the science of what I'm doing, because right now it's working. There's a lot of people that want to figure out how to get things like this to work. The best thing to do is just copy what is working. I'm giving you full permission. Now, I've paused it here at the end of one of my videos, and there's this button here that says Start Help Investing. So I'm going to click over here. It says Start Help Investing, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this More tab. This is how someone actually enters into my system and says, oh, I want to know more about this. And if you're looking at the screen here, you're going to notice I have something more complicated than what you need to start out with, because I've been testing and using this long enough to know what's working. But do you remember what I put in the last video? I said, make sure to thank them, then make sure to go ahead and capture their information by giving them more value, and then the third thing is to expose them to your products. Well, watch it right here. Loving Limitless TV, it's time to live. Access your top options. I didn't necessarily say thank you, but what I am doing right there is I'm acknowledging them, and then boom. Do you see the next thing that's happening right there? I'm saying, first receive a free gift, $35 value of my Straight Path to Real Estate book in both ebook and audiobook format when you put in your name and email. Now, by the way, you do not have to be an author to give them something of value to capture their information. It could honestly be something as simple as, you could sit in your car and record an audio on a topic of great passion and interest to these people for 30 or 40 minutes and make an audio download available. Audio downloads like that can have a $30 value, a $50 value, a $100 value. Remember, they've been already watching all your free information. Now it's time to start exposing them to paid information. You're going to put a value on this paid piece, but you're going to give it to them again for free. Now, after they've done that, remember, I'm doing that right here because I want to start talking to them on my terms, not on YouTube's terms. But right now, I'm going to introduce them to 3 options. Start at the left here. It says Starter. Got little or no money, just like when Kris started? Start the way Kris did. Make your first million with only $1,000. Now, in a moment, we'll click here and I'll show you what's going to happen. But there's another option for Investor. Turn your money and other people's money and retirement funds into real estate. Join Kris's real estate community to access the best training and deals available. And this third option, Mentor. Meet Kris live at one of his life-changing events, right? Now, you do not have to start with 3 options. In fact, I'm recommending you just start with 1, which would mean at the top of your page, it's, hey, welcome, thanks for being here. Hey, guess what? I want to give you a gift, put your information in. And then the third one is, hey, check out, click here if you want to learn more about whatever they came here for the first reason for in the first place. For the sake of today, let's just assume it's a digital download, right? You're like, but Kris, how do I create a digital download product? Dude, it's so simple. If you have an information-based YouTube channel, then go invite 5 buddies over to someone's nice-looking living room, set up a camera, and spend the day teaching them something on what you're already giving away for free, but give it all and give them the full sequence and everything that it would include in every scrap of paper or flyer or document or whatever. And then guess what you have by the end of the day? As long as you edit that whole beast, you now have a digital course. Digital courses could be $300 or $500, but they're often $500 to $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000. So if we go ahead and click on the starter option, I'm going there now, and I want you to write down the URL. Make sure that you see that it's limitlessmentor.com/TV. And now it's /starter because that's one of the 3 options that I picked. You can see it also in the navigation across the top. Now I'm just going to read a little bit of this to you because I want you to read this when it's time for you to create your own version of a website. You could use Wix for a free website. I do have a team that will build this entire thing for you if you head over to my website here on Self-Made. But essentially it says, hey, don't mess around when you're having no money and just getting started. And then I want you to notice a couple of things. Maybe I couldn't be a doctor because I got a C in organic chemistry. I retook the class, got a C minus. We all have weakness, but we also have strengths. Mine is statistics. I was first in my class in college. And when my financial mentor couldn't answer the question, which of the top 30 real estate strategies created the most wealth, I wrote a simple algorithm and I found the best strategy. Okay? I want you to notice how much information I'm communicating so quickly. You can learn to write like this, or I can have someone on my team just write it for you, for your YouTube channel, for your product, and put the thing together. But what I'm doing here is I'm telling a story, and it's an honest story about me and my sucky moments of life, and me and some of my better moments. What I'm going to do on this website is I'm going to next teach some content. Here are 6 things that I think are important in deciding the best strategy. After that, it's going to say I dumped all the various real estate strategies into the equation and a strategy emerged. Do you want to know what it is? It's called compassionate financing. I based my whole strategy on it, and 4.5 years later I had 25 properties and a 6-figure income. Now what I'm sharing with you is I want you to swap these sentences out for your story. My story started with I sucked at one thing, but I was good at another. It also goes on to say I was interested in this, I did a test, and in a short period of time, I got a result. If you're doing something on YouTube, it's likely because you have a story that follows this arc. After that, it goes on to say, here's what the strategy meant for me, and here's what it can mean for you. Here are some promises, essentially. Write that down, right? It took very little time, no money at all. I could do it anywhere in the country. There were no limits on how often I could do it. At this point, I'm garnering interest, but now for the first time I'm going to say, but by the way, people paid me $3,000 to attend this course. Then I'm going to shift in the website. What about you? Now we're going to say, well, this whole section basically says, dude, people pay $3,000, people pay $35,000 to access this, but you're on my YouTube channel. I'm going to give it to you for a whole lot less. And we keep on moving. And now I explain my course. Now I'm going to explain my course. It's totally worth $3,000, but I'm already leaving out the bonuses that are worth way more than $3,000. And I'll share with you what those are. But before they see that, they're not going to see what my students have had to say. And my students are saying things like, you know, a job at the county and a good credit score started me out in life, da 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 da. We plan to purchase more properties. We've had a wonderful experience. And this is social proof. Your product needs to have social proof. And then at the end, I basically say, hey, are we going to do this? You can get this $3,000 course, and I'll even show you how you can get it half off. And if you even ask when you call in for even under $1,000, then I throw them out my bonuses and be like, dude, $6,000 of bonuses. This stuff's awesome. And then it's time to say, hey, submit your information. Name, phone number, email, pop in a comment, and my team will reach out to you. If they submit this information, what do I know about them? I know that they are aware that they can get it for under $1,000. I know that they're aware that it has a $9,000 value. Is that important for them to know? Yes, because now it's someone that has been qualified. Instead of calling 100 people that don't know the price, maybe my team now is calling 15 people that know the price, and many of them are prepared already right then and there to pay. One of the other questions you got to be having is, well, Kris, why don't you just take credit card right now and just do it that way? Because at this point, I think my conversions would go down. So instead, I've got, when someone fills out this information, it actually goes to a member on my team. They text them, they include me on the text. I love to say, hi, dude, test me out on it. I'm serious. Go to here, fill it out. Well, maybe only do it if you're really serious, because I don't want to waste my team's time. But I'm gonna have some interaction with them, and then they're gonna talk to the member of my team. They're gonna explain exactly what was already on the website here, and then guess what? They're gonna take the credit card. We're going to deliver the digital program, and they're off to the races. Now, little tip. If you were going to do a digital course, one thing that I would highly recommend is that you give them access to a Facebook page that you're part of, that you'll have someone very active mediate and be in charge of, because now they can go from just digital training to more hands-on live training in a community with everyone else in the program. I'm going to tell you right now, the bonus of that alone is worth more than the cost of the course itself. So this is the methodology that I use for just one of my products. I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, just today, let's pull it up right here. I need to probably fuzz things out, but I got this email from this individual that was here this morning. They emailed, they talked to Sebastian, and then here's their information with their credit card. They paid, it was processed, it's done. There's $997 in my bank account that wasn't there this morning on just this one experience. So this is one of the things that you can do to monetize. Now, in the next video, I'm going to be chatting with you about how you set up a team to do all the sales for you, so you don't even have to do it. Because I know some of you, if you're like me, it's like you'll either say, well, I don't like to sell, or you'll say, I've got other things, other commitments and time commitments, so you have your own reason why you want to build a team around that, and I'll share with you how to do that in the next video. Hey guys, thanks for watching this. Really glad to have you here. I hope you write this down, limitlessmentor.com/capital TV, and that way you can really dive deeper into this and then copy and paste and do some things like that. If you're like me, who believes if you want something done right, don't do it yourself, I'm just letting you know I've got a team that does all of it for me. They actually build all my websites. They're really incredible. They're very, very reasonable. If you'd like to have my team take a look at your gear and actually look at either producing your channel, producing your website, or doing any of those things, or even being part of the presidential mastermind with me and Grant, hike on over to the website and we'll get you some information on that. Otherwise, join me for part 4 where we talk about how you tackle the sales.